Hey, welcome to Reflections with me, your host. Um, my life, when I originally set this up, I figured, hey, 3 o'clock will be fine, right? Well, I forgot that I had a meeting scheduled from 1 to 3. What the heck? Um, yeah, I'm just, I'm not good with PR. I'm not good. I'm not going to promote myself. I've always taken the opinion of if you find me, you find me. And if you don't, you don't. And that's okay because I'm not doing this for any personal recognition. So, um, and I think, God's fulfilling my wish because when I looked at, my YouTube channel where all these videos are archived, no view, 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 so that's just how it goes. And it's okay. I mean, mostly this is for me to spend time in readings of the day because I had not been doing that. I've not been really immersing myself in the daily readings of the gospel. So it's forced me to do it. So anyway, welcome. I mean, if you're here with me live, and if you are, please leave a comment so that I can say, hey, hi back, Or if you're watching on a recording, still leave a comment, let me know you were there. Maybe even share your own reflection on the reading. God speaks to all of us differently. So, and I think it's good for us to share once in a while what God is saying to us. Anyway, let's take a look and see what today's all about. Just like yesterday, we skip over a bunch. And I'll explain all that, unless you already figured it out. Here we go. So if you remember, we left off at the end of chapter 10. And here we are at the end of chapter 11. So what did we skip? We skipped the raising of Lazarus. That's basically it. Now, I mean, in the last few readings have been about Jesus talking about who he is. He talks about himself and about his mission and about his relationship with his Father, right? The whole thing shifts at this point. And we start reading about what the people had to say about him. Let me get my glasses on here. We'll do a little bit of reading. Starts off, many of the Jews who had come to Mary and seen what Jesus had done began to believe in him. Okay. When I first read this, I'm like, okay, there's a lot of Marys in the New Testament. So who's this one, right? Well, it's Mary of Bethany, Martha's sister, Lazarus' sister. And the Jews had gone to Mary to console her and to grieve with her over the death of her brother Lazarus. And what they saw was Jesus raising Lazarus from the dead. They began to believe in him. I guess so. I mean, if I saw someone raise someone from the dead, I might start believing in them too. But some of them went to the Pharisees and told them what Jesus had done. Tattletales. I guess, I don't know. Why else would you go to the Pharisees? The Pharisees don't like Jesus. So the chief priests and the Pharisees convened the Sanhedrin, which is a governing body. We've now moved from religious authorities to governing authority, and said, what are we going to do? This man is performing many signs. If we leave him alone, all will believe in him. And the Romans will come and take away both our land and our nation. So that's what they were worried about, right? They were worried about because here's the thing, right? Jesus was saying that he was, well, the people were saying it. He didn't really say it of himself, the King of the Jews. That would be a direct threat to Caesar, right? And so the Romans would come and invade. That's what they were all afraid of. Now, the Romans were already there, but they were allowing the Jews to do their thing. And that was like a Roman philosophy, right? They would conquer a country, but they would let the people maintain their religious traditions. They would give them an illusion of governance, right? That's what they would do. And part of that was so that people wouldn't revolt, right? So the Romans did their best to appease them and keep them calm, but they were under Roman rule. And it was fairly strict and very cruel and very ruthless. But one of them, Caiaphas, who was high priest that year, every year they had a new high priest, said to them, "You know nothing, nor do you consider that it is better for you that one man should die instead of the people, so that the whole nation may not perish." He was already prophesying what was going to happen, but he didn't realize it. He did not say this on his own, but since he was high priest for that year, he prophesied that Jesus was going to die for the nation, and not only for the nation, but also to gather into one the dispersed children of God. So from that day on, they planned to kill him. Okay. There's a big discussion about who killed Jesus. And for centuries, Jewish people were persecuted for being Christ killers. Something like this can be taken wrongly and used wrongly, right? So that's not at all what's being said here, right? Let's keep reading. So Jesus no longer walked about in public among the Jews. And the Jews, of course, are the religious authorities of that day. But he left for the region near the desert, to a town called Ephraim, and there he remained with his disciples. Now the Passover of the Jews was near, okay? Just like today, we're going to be celebrating Easter a week from Sunday. A week from yesterday is Good Friday, and that's where we remember the crucifixion of Christ, which Matthew, Mark, Luke, and maybe even John talk about as being on the Passover. Now the Passover of the Jews was near, and many went up from the country to Jerusalem before Passover to purify themselves. They looked for Jesus and said to one another as they were in the temple area, "What do you think? That he will not come to the feast?" And that's the end of the reading. They're asking themselves, is he coming or not? And for now, Jesus is in a little town called Ephraim. Tomorrow, Sunday, we celebrate the triumphal entry. That's when Jesus finally gets into Jerusalem. It's the beginning of Holy Week. So there's a lot going on. The Jewish authorities of that time, along with the governing body, were concerned that if all the people believed in Jesus, the Romans would come in, right? 70 years later, the Jews revolted against the Romans, and the Romans destroyed them, tore down the temple. They said the streets ran with blood 70 years after this. So how did this all work out for them? Not so well. It would have been better for them to have believed. But it was not God's plan that they believe at this time, because he wanted to extend his grace to the entire world, to the Gentiles also. It's part of God's plan. And we can't hold responsible for the death of Jesus all of the descendants of Judaism. We just can't. They didn't make that decision. They didn't do this. And if you think about it, this is a radical thought. Had they not conspired with the Romans for Jesus to be crucified, what then? Good question to think about. So tonight, since we're getting into the early part of the evening, I'm going to be reflecting on what's called Passion Sunday, the beginning of Holy Week, and really setting my face towards the activities of the Triduum. And as a choir member, I've got a lot of responsibility. We're going to do a lot of practicing and a lot of singing. So it's going to be preeminent in my thoughts. So that's my focus. That's my focus. And then remember what Jesus said on the cross. Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. And it's the same thing here. They thought they were protecting the land of Israel. That's what they thought. They saw Jesus as a threat. And they thought they were protecting the people. They didn't know what they were doing. So we forgive them. All those people 2,000 years ago. Yeah, that's what we do. So, that's my thought for today. And we'll see what we have tomorrow. Okay. So for the rest of the evening, I pray that your weekend is truly blessed. That you're happy, that you're healthy, that you keep safe, and I'll see you tomorrow.